Just want to do a brief tutorial description on how I built and installed my Murphy beds for my 20x8 cargo trailer that I converted into a toy hauler. That is inside dimension 20x8, so it could be a 20x8.5, but the inside dimension of this, if I'm not mistaken, is 20 foot by 8 foot. I've got a bed across the back here. It's two halves. This half and that half fold into each other and meet in the middle for one big bed across the back. That's what that mattress is for. Just got it today. Haven't tried it out yet. Should work out perfectly. Obviously, that's the folded down side. It's identical to this side. That's the tucked away side. Let me start off by adding, anytime you're building something like this, plan. Make sure that you have everything figured out before you even start building something, or otherwise you're going to have to backtrack. In this particular situation, I have 1x4s that I put on the wall. I think it's 5 rows of 1x4 I put on the wall. Then I put my 1/2 inch plywood on there, and I planned it out to where I put extra 1x4s in areas where I knew I was going to be attaching stuff, just to make it a whole lot simpler to screw stuff to the wall and not have to deal with toggles or the possibility of it pulling the plywood, bowing the plywood out. So just take some time to draw things out, plan it, loosely attach stuff in the beginning when you're building stuff, and then do a final screw down of everything when it's all said and done. That way, if you have to pull anything off, it's not a big deal. I built all these mattress boards. I built them first. It's 3/4 inch plywood with 4 inch, 3/4 inch plywood rips that I used to dress, just kind of dress it up, kind of like cabinets. I thought it looked better. Plus, it gave me extra thickness around the edges, to where now I have 1.5 inches all the way around, which is plenty beefy enough to attach. And probably 3/4 would have been fine, but plenty beefy enough to attach carriage bolts for my chains that I have right here. You can see that's a carriage bolt. And I have an eye bolt up there. For anybody that's skeptical about how much weight this will hold, it'll hold a bunch. I'm 200 pounds. I've slept in it a couple times. Doesn't budge. When we were building it, two of my guys, 2 full-grown men, sat on it. Didn't move. Another buddy of mine slept on it. My kids have slept on it a few times. They are plenty strong. If you feel a little more comfortable beefing it up a little bit more, by all means. Like I said, I built these, dressed them all out. I had them completely built, the mattress boards. And then I installed a 4x4 on my fender well. The 3.5 inches, 4x4 is 3.5 by 3.5 inches. But the 3.5 inches that it sits off of the wall allows me to fold the bunk up and leave the mattress in there, so I don't have to worry about storing my mattresses somewhere. So I installed that 4x4, and then the height of the 4x4 makes it perfect to where it's the right height for like a couch height, because I have every intention of making some type of fold out back, flip up back, something to where I can convert these into couches during the day when we're not using them as beds. And then a lot of times I can't by myself, so I only need one of these, and then I'd like to have a couch for another. But at any rate, I installed that first, flipped it, made sure it worked good. Then I figured out my spacing, and I installed these 2x6 verticals, and I attached the ceiling, a couple points in the walls and in the floor. I did that on both sides. Attached my pins, made sure it was all working good, and then once I knew that was working good, I figured out my spacing that I wanted for my upper bunk. I may even moved it one time because I didn't like it, but at any rate, I attached 2x4 sideways here, and then I just cut me some blocks, kind of bevel on them, kind of dress them up a little bit, and that helps support that 2x4. And then I attached my top bunk. And the way I attach my top bunk, same way I did on the bottom bunk. I have 3 heavy-duty door hinges. You can use strap hinges. You can use a heavy-duty piano hinge. You can use all thread. You can use pin hinges. You can use whatever you want. I just happen to have a bunch of those laying around from a job I did Brand new doors we installed. Customer wanted a different color hinge, so I had a box full of these hinges. Worked out perfectly. So anyway, so that's that. Once I did that, I then installed the top board across there where it fastens in several different places. You can't see it because my guys did a really good job hiding a lot of the fasteners, but they are also fastened into the wall as well. So it is very, very strong. There should be no worries of this thing falling apart on anybody. The operation is fairly quite simple. I bought these spring-loaded trailer gate style hinges or pins off of Amazon. I would spring for a little bit better quality one if I were to do it over. These can be a hair squirrely sometimes, but really no more than I use them, they work, and they work. That's what I'm talking about right there. It wants to kind of flip out every now and again, but it's just got a little T-bar on there that holds it out. And I would advise making sure that you engage that T-bar. Don't just pull it out and leave the pin out like that, because I haven't had it happen yet, but I can easily see where that would gouge the crap out of your leg or your arm or anything else. So I would highly suggest that you are adamant about locking it in that position so that they're flush on the outside edge. And they just fold down. It's just that simple. Bottom one the same way, no reason to demonstrate it. Now, when I set this bed up, make sure you fold these bunks up before, put this bed down before you do this one, or this corner right here will spear you in the back and it's no fun. And as you can see, the reverse is pretty simple. Oh, these came with some kind of clamps. I don't even remember what they were, but they didn't work good for my particular application. I could have furred this out. I could have done a lot of different things, but I just opted to go with an eye bolt. It worked out perfect for several reasons, because you can screw it in, screw it out, and it has some adjustability to it to make it exactly how you want it. So that's what I suggest doing. For this bed, I may eventually, for this bottom bunk, I just made legs like this, and they actually make after I did this, I found out they make a locking leg hinge, which I'm actually going to purchase, because it'd be nice just to be able to pull that up and it stays locked in that position and lower it down. But I may actually do that same thing on this particular bunk here, but for the time being, I just built this little platform, which actually works really good. It'd work even better if I taped off an area where it sits on the floor right here, so that I can get it in the right spot right out of the gate. But I basically just set that there. As you can see, it's got little notches in it, so it'll go all the way across, and it accepts these little hinges. And then just pull my hinges out. My pins. And you know, this right here has, if you notice, this right here has this board going across the top. And like I said, overlook some of the imperfections here. We still have a second coat of paint to put. You'll notice on that one, this same board right here is lower on that side, and that's because this side you lower down first, and then that side, this receives that side, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. Okay. And pull these out. And that just folds across the back. I guess while I got y'all here, I'll see if my mattress fits. Now, I know it's going to be a hair short. But it actually works out good. When I have an air mattress that we put on here that was shorter, narrower. It actually works good because we can put a bag or whatever on the ends. Alright. And I think I have I know I do. I have my little stand. It was hard to do one-handed sitting on part of the hinge, so it's ramped up in the center there. But usually it sits nice and flat. But anyway, that's that. Now for storing this mattress, the idea that I've come up with is I plan on, once this bed's folded back up, I plan on building a lightweight plywood box that doesn't have a top on it. It's just a plywood box that this thing will sit down in. And then I will just strap that box up against the wall. I'm going to do the plywood box just to keep mud from getting on it. Because I do bring my side-by-side in here. I have a Can-Am X3 that I pull in here. And just to kind of protect it, keep dirt off of it. And I'll just pin it, strap it, whatever I decide to do, against the wall. And then that way when I go to pull it out, I just unbuckle it, set it to the side, lower this down, put the mattress in it. Or I will just lower the whole box down on the floor, pull the mattress out of it, lower this down, and just leave it stored up underneath the bed. That's probably what I'll wind up doing. But at any rate, hadn't gotten there yet. Maybe I'll update this. Probably not. So anyway, if y'all have any suggestions, comments, constructive criticism, I'm always eager to learn. Just try not to be an asshat. And if you got a comment, something you don't like, just say it respectfully. You know, I'm not thin-skinned, but at the same time, I can't stand an asshat. So feel free to say what you got to say. Just do it nicely. I appreciate it, and I hope this helps you out. Have a good day. Bye.